Fox Sports.
We are Blackboard. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Do everything the opposite, I guess. This game, it's a humbling game for sure, and you're going to take your lumps, and you just got to bounce back. You got to have a short-term memory, as all pitchers should have, and you got to go get them next start.
And that next start is today. Michael Fulmer takes the mound for the Tigers, trying to bounce back after giving up 6 earned runs in his last start. Game 1 in this doubleheader featuring the Tigers and the Kansas City Royals. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Kirk Gibson, glad to have you with us for Game 1 of 2 here this afternoon. And Gibby, you heard Michael Fulmer. You got to have a short-term memory in this game, trying to bounce back from that last start.
Yeah, how do you do that? He gave up 9 runs, 6 earned in just over 3 innings last game. You really evaluate. He's trying to blow it off, but the first thing you do is you look at your mechanics. Are you tipping your pitches? Well, my sequences weren't good. I read something, maybe he wasn't on the same page with his catcher, but what I saw was there's really no movement on his good pitches. So what one of those is it? It's all of the above. And trust me, he went to the pen, he went to the video. He looked at the slider and the two-seamer and wondering why it wasn't doing what it was doing. And he's made that adjustment. But you can just see on these pitches, normally very sharp, and this is an example of when it does work. You see the late movement real quick. The hitters don't see it, and then he puts his fielders in play, and it works out much better. Why does that happen? Sometimes you overthrow. I heard he was working on a leg whip, his mechanics on the mound, but all that has been resolved in the pen, and Michael Fulmer is ready to go today, and I think he'll throw a good game for the Tigers.
Yeah, and I'm betting he has better finish on those pitches as well here this afternoon. Tigers getting set to take on the Royals. After a short break, we'll send you down to the Call Sam Studios, check in with Mickey York. Well, the weather heated up yesterday, so did the Tiger Bass. 13 runs on 18 hits, both season highs. Stay with us. Game 1 of the doubleheader coming up next.
Leonys Martin's first career Grand Slam highlighted a day in which he finished a double shy of the cycle. He'll lead off game 1 of 2 between the Tigers and the Royals here at Comerica Park this afternoon. Hi everybody, Mickey York back with you here in the Call Sam studio. The Tigers scored a season-high 13 runs on a season-high 18 hits yesterday, and Martin, along with Jeimer Candelario and Miguel Cabrera, combined to produce 10 of those 18 hits. The top of the Tigers order will try to keep it rolling here this afternoon in game 1 of 2 against the Kansas City Royals. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And by Dodge. Hurry into the Dodge Spring Sales event today. Almost game time. Michael Fulmer ready to deliver the first pitch between the Tigers and the Royals next.
Royals getting set to do battle twice here this afternoon, a doubleheader, and Michael Fulmer trotting out to the mound here this afternoon. He will make the start in game 1, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Well, Michael's got to be excited to get that bad taste out of his mouth from that last start down in Cleveland. In 3 starts, you see the 1-2 record with the stinker the last time. He's been in his bullpen on the mound. I'm sure he's fixed everything that he had going wrong in Cleveland. Better feel, the weather's a little warmer, and that usually makes the release point something that you can feel and duplicate. So we're looking for a good start today for Michael.
He'll be facing a Royals team that is struggling right now. Their starting lineup today presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. And for the Royals, managed by Ned Yost, it'll be John Jay, Whit Merrifield, Mike Moustakas in the top 3 spots. newly acquired Lucas Duda batting cleanup. Then Cuthbert and Almonte. Bottom three of Brian Goins, Alcides Escobar, and Cam Gallagher will bat ninth, and he will do the catching.
Oakland University brings you the Tigers starting defense. In the outfield, Jacoby Jones, Leonis Martin in center, Nick Castellanos in right. Jamer Candelario, he's been red hot, but good with the glove at third base. Miggy over at first. Iglesias at short, Machado at second. James McCann behind the dish today, catching Michael Fulmer, and John Hicks was behind the dish the last Fulmer start, so it doesn't surprise me that the catching is a little bit different today. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, and Michael maybe feel a little more comfortable with McCann, and that's the way they're going to go.
So we are ready for baseball here today. Two teams kind of heading in opposite directions. The Royals, they were swept in Toronto. The Tigers swept Baltimore here. And as you can see, it's a bright, sunshiny day here at the ballpark.
Warm. What is it, 30? No, it's good. It's nice today.
It's beautiful today.
It's going to get warmer as it goes, and it's no coincidence. I think the bats start to heat up a bit as well.
So here is John Jay to get things started now for the Royals. Jay, Merrifield, and Moustakas in the first inning for KC. And the first pitch of game one is a strike called on John Jay. 271 batter this year is Jay. No home runs. Good on base percentage, though. The 0-1 is in there, 0-2. Jay has hit safely in each of his last 3 games. Now Fulmer with the 0-2 pitch. And that didn't take long. See you later, 1 gone.
This is a good sign. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. The last one, though, was the comebacker, and we were looking for the movement, which he didn't have. Look at this ball, looks inside to Jay, and it runs back over the plate. It's a good 8 to 10 inch movement. He gives up on it, and Michael Fulmer's got his first strikeout of the day.
So Fulmer now will face Whit Merrifield. Whit is off to a 250 start for the Royals. These two teams split 2 games earlier this year at Comerica, and then of course the final game rained out. That's why we play 2 today. The 1-0 is in there as strike.
Back-to-back sliders. Whit Merrifield, one of the 2 guys really in the Royals offense that will be scrappy at the plate and on the base pass. They're action players.
Shallow right field, and back goes Machado, the second baseman, unable to make the play. And Merrifield is aboard. Tough play in shallow right.
Yeah, it really was. And sun's over that way. He's looking back into the sun. Ball up in the air. I'm not sure if Nick got a good jump on it, but it looked like Machado had a tough catch right here. This is a case that any outfielder, you want to call off the infielder so they can get out of the way. If they don't, you're unable to make an attempt at it. It didn't work out for the Tigers in that case.
So here is one of the hottest players right now in the American League, Moustakas. And he tries to drive a bunt down the third base line and almost did it. It just went foul.
Well, why does he do that? I mean, you got a guy at first with 1 down. Look at the way the Tigers are going to defend Moustakas. Everybody's over here. This is all open, and he's going to try and bunt it over there. Luckily for the Tigers, it goes foul. The Tigers do not move. Their data tells them this is where we need to defend him, and they stay the same. He's going to go at it again.
Wow. On back-to-back pitches, he tried it again, and now it's 0-2. Now, I get trying to do this, Gibby, but you've got the hottest guy right now in the American League, a 10-game streak. He's got good power. Does it surprise you at all he's doing?
Yeah, 4 doubles, 4 home runs. No, I think he's just trying to get them to move for the rest of the series. Now, he knows he's got 2 strikes. He's definitely not going to bunt it this time.
The 0-2. And Fulmer shortened up on his stride that time and missed way wide, 1-2.
Yeah, you could tell his arm really dragged. He tried to rush because of Merrifield over there at first base, trying to keep him at first. He will run.
Lucas Duda waiting on deck. Swing and a miss, and Moustakas out on strikes, 2 gone.
Michael's been using the slider and the two-seam fastball early already in this inning. And right here, there's another. 84 miles an hour, took a lot off it. Got way out front of it. You have the good action. Moustakas down on strikes, that's two-way.
Opponents this year batting just 188 against the slider from the right-hander Fulmer. Here is Lucas Duda. Wave and a miss, 0-1.
Michael Fulmer, it looks like he's coming out with a little attitude today. Using the stuff great.
9 runs, 6 earned in his last start in Cleveland, just un-Fulmer-like. But as he mentioned at the top of our broadcast, that is baseball. You are humbled very quickly in this game. Another heater missing high at 94. Duda batting .250, hit 3 home runs, including homering in his first at bat as a Royal on opening day this year. Here's the 1-1.
Well, Duda has been a guy who's got pop from left side. Again, the Tigers have the shift on. And he didn't try to do the Moustakas bunt. Many times a manager would say, okay, you guys go ahead and bunt it because you're keeping it in the park.
And in some ways, and that's why I brought it up, Gibby, in some ways that is kind of playing into the Tigers' hands. Go ahead and take that base hit. But as you mentioned, he's just trying to get him to move a little bit in the rest of the series, right?
Exactly. And you're going to still need a hit or two. If he gets a bunt down, you're still going to need a hit or two in a row to score.
That ball belted in the air to right, but here is Castellanos almost in his tracks to make the play. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left. Today on a bright sunny afternoon. Here is the Tigers starting 9, presented by MGM, or I take it back, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. You've got Martin, Candelario, and Cabrera in the top 3 spots. Castellanos batting cleanup. V-Mart, then McCann. Bottom 3 of Jones, Iglesias, and Dixon Machado. Starting pitcher is presented by MGM Grand Detroit, and that would be Jason Hamill.
Take a look at Jason. Fastball, curveball, slider, and change. Uses the fastball and curveball the most. You can't run on him. He's given up like 35 stolen base last year, only 5 caught. 0-1 this year. See the whip at 141. That's a high number. A lot of base runners. He's pretty good at it. He likes to throw that high fastball high in the zone, then he'll throw that curveball and slider right out of that same plane. Hitters tend to give up on it, and that's what he's trying to get you on the taking third strike with.
Well, Martin had a huge day yesterday. Grand slam, single, triple. And he chops one to the right side. It's going to be foul as Martin hit the deck, and that ball rolled all the way out to second. That's going to leave a mark. Going 2 on Leonis.
You ever wonder, you see guys go down, do you actually really see it hit the foot? This is in slow motion. Ball, you get out front and hits. Oh, did it hit it?
If it hit him, it just barely caught his toe.
He went down quick.
He did. For as far as that ball went, it's either a very good sell job or it did nick his toe. The 0-2.
But you get that bat out front like that, and that ball goes straight down on the foul tip. The shin burger hurts as well. I've seen many go off the knees in other areas, and got to be tough to be a baseball player on some occasions. Suck it up.
Here's the 1-2. It'll dive low. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Martin. Tigers broke out offensively in a big way in the final game of the Baltimore series yesterday with 13 runs.
It's been a while, a long time coming.
Season high 18 hits as well. There's a swing and a miss. Martin out on strikes, 1 gone.
Let's take a look at the Royals starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. John Jay in left field. Abraham Almonte in center. Whit Merrifield in right. Chesler Cuthbert at third. Alcides Escobar. Shortstop Ryan Goins and Lucas Duda fill out the right side. Cameron Gallagher is catching Jason Hamill.
So Jamer Candelario now with a 4-game hitting streak, and he is as hot as any Tigers hitter right now. Jamer in the ball game yesterday on base 5 times. He homered again, and now really getting to settle into that 2 spot in the lineup and showing what he can do.
Got a good eye, doesn't swing at bad pitches when he doesn't have to. Oh boy.
Right to the center fielder, and that's going to be run down by Almonte.
So that won't show up as a hit in the box score, but the way he's evaluated by everybody around the league, that is definitely a plus at bat. Did not give that one away.
It'll bring up Miguel Cabrera.
So when scouts are scouting other players, they scout everybody along the way, and that's part of the reports, the way they turn it in now. Because who knows, down the road someday, it could be he could be involved in a trade with somebody, or the year before his free agency year. And these are the types of things that they look at differently than they used to.
It's like they say, you're always playing for 30 major league teams, not just the one that you are representing.
And if you were to want to acquire a guy like Candy, you'd want to know what his hard hit ball rate is, because the theory is if you hit the ball hard, you're going to do damage, you're going to slug it more, you're going to have more production. Miggy takes a swing and misses.
1 ball and 1 strike on Cabrera. 5 for 11 in the recently completed series against the Orioles. Hamill's 1-1 is a little bit outside, 2-1. Hamill, 35 years old, out of Chicago, Illinois, does not have really good numbers career against the Tigers.
See, like 3-3 lifetime.
ERA is over 6. Tigers got him pretty good the first time they faced him this year. Swing and a miss, actually tipped it into the glove. 5 runs in 5 innings first time they faced him back on April 2nd. Here are those career numbers.
So look at the whip. We were talking about that earlier today. Walks plus hits. Want that number to be 1.5 or below.
And down goes Cabrera. He strikes on Miggy for his 2nd of the inning. Tigers go in order, and we go to the 2nd. Cuthbert will lead things off for the Royals. It's going to be Cuthbert, Almonte, and Goins for KC. And Cuthbert takes outside, 2 balls and no strikes. .231 batting average for Cuthbert, no home runs. He has knocked in 2. Fulmer struck out a pair in the first inning. 2-0 is lifted in the air to shallow right field. Castellanos coming on, and he'll make the running catch. 1 away. Hey, by the way, Sundays are kids' days at Comerica Park. Don't miss the action this Sunday. The Royals in town at 1:10. Families can enjoy the Sunday Family Value Deal. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 chips, and 4 drinks, starting as low as $20 per person. If you'd like tickets, go to tigers.com/value. And bring the kiddos out to the ballpark who are enjoying some warm weather today.
It is sunny and warmer today, and have a good game tonight as well. Hopefully the Tigers can win game 1. Doubleheaders are can be really, really good, and they can be really, really bad on your psyche. Never want to get swept, and then they have the day-night doubleheader, or back in the day it was always back-to-back.
Now I assume players would rather play back-to-back.
I've talked to some of them about that. I think that they like the split because many of them, they go back and nap and take a little rest and get some food in them. I mean, how would you like to do 18 innings straight?
I agree. It's those are tough. It's kind of nice to have the break, but on the flip side of that, you are here, from early in the morning to late at night.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're used to that.
There's the 1-2 to Almonte, and down he goes. 2 away.
Is that 3 strikeouts already for
it is
Michael? And he's got to spin it. Look at that ball going down. Good bite. Amadi is out of there.
The other thing about doubleheaders from a stats standpoint is you could really have a bad day if you go like an 0 for 4, then an 0 for 5, and you've got an 0 for 9 on the day.
Or extra innings, it's going to be 0 for worse.
High drive into left field. That's going to chase Jones back. Jacoby gets there, and a 1-2-3 second inning for Michael Fulmer.
Swings. I just missed a ball to right that I hit a high fly ball to right field, which was a great swing, and then with the bases loaded, I hit a bullet straight to Beckham. So the only thing I take away from yesterday is I don't take away 0 for 5. I take away, man, I had 2 good swings yesterday, and we scored 13 runs and swept.
And So Nicholas Castellanos, I asked him the question, what he took out of yesterday, how he processed the game. He was 0 for 5, yet the Tigers had a very successful day. You heard what he had to say. And you've heard me on the air enough to know that I'm a believer in taking something positive out of every day, whether you normally would or not. And it seems that Nick has taken him some time. And when you mature, you understand to continue to beleaguer yourself or have a negative stored within how you see yourself is counterproductive. I mean, it's not going to help you. So, yeah, some may say, well, motivate you. You're already motivated. And hopefully he has a big day today, because he told me to pick him and pick the stick.
Well, I think it's really telling that Nick could look at all of his at-bats yesterday and tell you exactly how many good swings he had. I mean, that's how in tune they are with their at-bats. The 0-2 is going to miss low, 1 and 2. And we will have a lot of that conversation you had with Castellanos sprinkled in through the weekend. So really telling stuff. And, you know, when you talk to Nick, I mean, he really kind of delves into the game, which I think is really kind of refreshing.
He likes to talk baseball, and it's one's perspective. And it's, you know, they all have to keep themselves going somehow, some way, and hopefully we can reflect and he can represent how it is he deals with it every day. I know he came in today, and I know his manager probably said, hey, how are you today? And I'll bet you he said, I'm playing 18. That's number one. He's committed to that when he comes in, and he's got an even keel. He's off the roller coaster, and we'll talk about that with Nick here as we progress.
Pop that one up right side of the infield. Duda back to the grass, and Castellanos one gone. Well, Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you know you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Made available by Oakland University. Well, here is Vmart now with one out.
Did you take Vmart today? He was there.
No, Rod took him. I took Machado.
Did you pick before, Rod?
I did.
You like Machado.
I like Machado today.
You've been fairly hot. I can't go against you.
Machado's got 10 RBIs. Tied for the team lead.
I wonder who the team leader in pick the stick is this year. I'm talking about player. It's got the most points.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm sure our crack staff can work that up for you. Tapper right back to the mound, and Hamill will flip to first for the out.
If I might offer, I think that we should pick in inverse order every day. So if you're last, you pick first. If you're first, you pick last.
I like that idea.
Every day.
I like that idea. That's a great idea.
Then you got to really, and probably after a certain day, you have to change. Like the playoffs have to be different, though.
Right. Reseed.
Yeah, reseed.
Why don't you petition the commissioner?
Well, I am right now.
Oh.
Who is the commissioner?
I think you need to put it in writing.
Is it President Keating? Is he the commissioner?
No, it's not President Keating. Here's James McCann with 2 outs. There's a ball inside to Mack.
You know, you can see they're shifting on Mr. McCann. It's kind of interesting. If you watch the bottom of the lineup with the Tigers, there are subtle changes. Sometimes it's Jacoby in front of James. Sometimes it's James in front of Jacoby. And it's...
That is popped up. Shallow center field.
Better run him.
Oh, it's going to drop. You could tell Goins was having all kinds of trouble with that. The outfielders couldn't get there. It's going to be a bloop single for McCann.
Now, this isn't getting on anybody, but this happens at least once a year. You can see he's struggling right there. You got to try and make sure you get on second base. A little 7 3/4 long leg, and there happened to James right there. Now, he's not exactly fleet of foot, but he's probably thinking, gosh, should have been in second base right there. I'm in scoring position.
Is that an easier play for Amante, the center fielder? It looked like he was just a couple of feet away from that ball. Here is Jones, and he pops it up foul back out of play.
We got the head out there. So, I mean, the hustle for the Tigers has been great this whole year, and again, I'm not questioning anybody's effort. But if you think about it, where would you rather be right now? You have that opportunity, yeah.
Yep.
And being a catcher like that is tough.
Now the 0-1. 0-2 on Jones. Gardy has preached and has done so since day one of spring camp, and actually even before the start of spring camp, that we will play hard, we'll play fundamentally sound, and we're going to play the game the right way. And I think we have seen many examples this year of the Tigers making strides in that area, whether it's going first to third or other things.
I agree, and he'll stay with it.
The 0-2, he rips off a breaking ball that missed inside. 1-2. Jason Hamill signed a 2-year deal, $16 million deal before last season, so he's in his second year of that deal.
He's a prime guy to steal on him. Probably not with Mr. McCann, though.
Yeah, Hamill not very good at holding runners on, at least was not last year. Swing and a miss, and Jones slams the bat down as he strikes out to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left.
Lots of breaking balls today, Jacoby. In our open, what happened last time in Cleveland, the slider was not good. It didn't bite. You can see Michael Fulmer today has a very good feel and grip on his slider. Lots of action, burying it down in the zone. You're seeing the swings and misses by the Royals so far in this game. Hopefully he can continue to fire it in there like that.
Much better so far earlier in this game, to be sure, as Alcides Escobar leads it off. And he'll check it, but go around. Strike 1 on Escobar.
Another slider.
Not a good swing there by Alcides. 0-2. Just got a piece of it. Escobar stays alive.
So we're just looking what Michael's looking at right now, and the breaking ball, he's pretty much throwing it off. Now he establishes that, and then hopefully he can start that two-seamer off, and it'll run back this way. That's when you really get it working. Because as a hitter, you're going to tell yourself, lay off that pitch, lay off your pitch. Another slider.
Didn't go.
Yeah, you're telling yourself, don't swing at that pitch. It keeps breaking off the plate, and then hopefully you can throw that two-seamer glove side. He gives up on it, and it's called third strike. Now this Escobar, he doesn't take anything. He don't walk at all.
He'll drive one in the air toward left center. It's going to hang up, though, and it'll be Martin making the running catch. One gone. Let's check in now with Trevor Thompson for a Dodge game break.
Mario, in that last outing of Michael Fulmer's that you guys have been talking about so far here today, he had just 2 swings and misses in his 72 pitches in the 3 innings of work. Here today, he's already got 3 strikeouts so far, had 2 swings and misses against Alcides Escobar alone. I asked him what adjustments he's going to make coming into today. He said, I'm going to look at the tape from my last start and do the exact opposite. So far, that's exactly what he's doing.
Pretty simple, isn't it? Sometimes it can be a simple game. There's Chris Basio, the Tigers pitching coach, hoping that last start against the Indians an anomaly. And, you know, you also have to consider the Indians have a pretty good hitting team. I know they were struggling when the Tigers went in, but they got some pretty good hitters on that club.
Oh, they do. And they hit some good pitches, too.
Cam Gallagher is looking at a ball outside.
Well, here at the start of the inning, it was 14 sliders, 2 Ks, and 3 swing and misses. And he really is going with this pitch early in the game.
Bender drops in, make it 2-2 on Gallagher.
Very quick and sharp at the end there with the break.
Popped him up. Shallow right for Castellanos. Nicholas hauls it in, 2 gone. That's 7 straight retired now by Fulmer after that bloop single by Merrifield. Top of the order, John Jay.
The bloop? What other names you got for those?
What do you think?
Fiddle. That's
Fiddle.
the tram.
That's it. The old tram, yeah. Ducksnort.
Dinker.
Tinker. Got to think on a few more.
Nubber.
Nubber, that's a good one.
The
Nubber.
little nubber.
And Nubber's usually a little ground ball off the end of the bat. Nubber.
Could be a nubber off the end of the bat just over the first baseman's head.
Nubbed. There's a happy fan with a souvenir.
A big league baseball. Those are about, what, $30 in the store, so that's a pretty good gift when you come down to the stadium.
Oh, and the photo on top.
I'm sure she's going to say she caught it too.
Why not? 2-1 pitch. Slapped foul down the left field line.
Are they still there? Look at, can't figure out the camera. That happens a lot. You know that? I need to take a picture.
Yeah.
And they seem to have a malfunction. They'll get it.
It's more operator error, I think, than the actual
my
camera.
point. That was right in on the hands. Good pitch right there.
John Jay struck out in his first at bat. 1 of 3 punch outs so far for Fulmer. Hammered to right field, but foul. John Jay has reached base in 15 of his last 16. Has done a nice job.
Look at the last 2 pitches. You go fastball up and in. Then he goes slider down and in. Pulls it foul. We're working in there. Now he's going away.
Pulled to second base. Machado running scoop. And that'll be a 1-2-3 third for Fulmer, who looks good today.
Jason Hamill, and he's doing some work himself. He's got a good off-speed pitch, working the fastball and the breaking ball out in the outside corner with Miggy right here. And he's just, look at that, it's just paint. He's putting the ball right where he wants it. He's going to the right on one, to the left on the other, and then Miggy goes down. That was Jacoby Jones as well. So he's got it working.
Meanwhile, so does Fulmer, who's been really good after 3 in this start. Here is Iglesias, and Jose looks at a strike from Jason Hamill. Iggy, then Machado, and then Martin. Iglesias had a much needed big day yesterday. Single, double, triple. Knocked in 3 runs as well.
Yeah, I think that Iglesias is a guy that you can count on putting the bat on the ball. Now, he's swinging missing earlier in the year uncharacteristic, so I think Gardy's the kind of manager that would put him under the pressure to put the ball in play with runners on base. Right now has nobody on base, but him having those hits and getting his confidence back will let Gardy put those hit run plays on or get runners moving on certain counts. Is that the same?
No. Different girl. Chopper to third. Easy hop there for Cuthbert. Iglesias out, 1 gone. It'll bring up Dixon Machado. Oh, she is fired up.
Does she keep it or give it to her brother?
No, got to keep it.
Nah, she's going to give it to her brother.
Think so?
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
And your mom says, you give that to your brother now. Right?
No, she's nope.
He's rubbing it up. That's a keeper.
Machado slams one in the air to center field, hit pretty good, but Almonte going back, and he'll make the catch. 2 outs. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the Tiger Box to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of
Arby fries.
Curly fries.
You wanted me to say Arby's Jr.
Yeah, no, it's curly fries. I know you keep lobbying for that.
Not getting it done. At least do it one day.
Nope, curly fries.
You see, you'll see.
Leonis Martin struck out in the first. In tight at third base is Cuthbert on the cut of the grass. In case Martin is thinking bunt, which he's done on several occasions this year. And it's something Ron Gardenhire was talking about yesterday when you have guys like Iglesias, Machado, Martin, Jacoby, who have the ability to run. It doesn't always hurt to lay one down every now and then. Instead, he hammers one to right center field. Almonte on the run, and a long running play by Abraham Almonte. That is a tremendous play in center field. Pretty good right here. Almonte covered 1.5 miles, it seemed, to get there. Hamill loves it. And Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. Tigers. Whit Merrifield leads it off and looks at strike one. Merrifield, Moustakas, and Duda, the 2, 3, and 4 batters in the lineup for Ned Yost. Soft little looper back is short, going to drop, base hit. And Merrifield now 2 for 2. Hey, the Tigers continue their series against the Royals. That's tomorrow at 1:10. Enjoy the Liney Summer Party Pack. That includes a game ticket, a voucher, and a draft beer starting at $19. If you'd like to purchase, go to tigers.com/Liney. So another blooper from Merrifield. He is 2 for 2. Here is Mike Moustakas. It's funny you mentioned it, Gibby, because now third baseman Candelario is giving him not as much room down the third base line.
Yeah, they've got to adjust that a little bit, try to deter, as he tried it twice in his first at bat, but the ball went foul here.
Moustakas showing no sign of bunt in this at bat.
Merrifield is a threat over there. Very aggressive base runner, so you got to keep him close. Michael's pretty quick to the plate altogether.
Moustakas pops it in the air to shallow left. Jacoby Jones coming in. One gone. Merrifield last year led the American League with 34 stolen bases. I mean, I remember back in the day, even when you played, I mean, guys had in the 60s, 70s, 80 steals to lead the league.
Willie Wilson, Ricky Henderson. Trying to think who the other really fast guys, burners were.
Vince Coleman.
Yeah, Vince Coleman was a burner. He could really run. Yeah, well, you know what? Honestly, they didn't have the ability to hold you as much as they do now. More attention.
Chopper back up the middle, tough play. Iglesias will underhand one to first base.
Huh. What was that?
I'm not sure I know. A little underhand bloop.
I think Miggy was looking in Merrifield. It could have taken off for third and made this an interesting play. Iglesias had to come up, get this ball within the runner, Merrifield, and then he, instead of throwing it overhand, he goes underhand up in the air. The head Merrifield took off for third. Could have been interesting, as the Tigers initially had to scramble to get over there and cover.
Cuthbert now with the bat at second and 2 outs. Fly to right field in his first at bat. The Royals in search of a 2-out hit here to grab the lead. Chopper to the shortstop, and Iglesias will handle this one. Handle in the inning. 2-3-4 coming up for the Tigers.
Candelario, he had a beauty in 3 games, 8 for 12. Really finding his power stroke. 2 home runs. Had a triple and 5 steaks. Why do they call them steaks?
Ribeyes, RBIs, ribeyes.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
I know you did. You
Sounds
always try and
good.
test me, though. Here is Candelario, and he'll pull the first pitch towards second. Nice sprawling play, Goins, who throws him out. A couple of fine defensive plays back-to-back. Almonte to close out the third, and now Goins here in the fourth.
Tigers trying to jump Hamill early in the count. Did it last inning, and Candyman doing it right there is not working out. They're hitting the ball firmly, but right at somebody.
Here is Miguel Cabrera, who fanned in the first inning. Hamill with 3 strikeouts. Ball 1.
Biggie really came into the season, I think, feeling good. We were over in Chicago, really coming off a good series, and then remember he was rounding the bag and hit the backside of the bag and kind of like turned his ankle, and really since then has never. I don't think he's real healthy yet. We're just watching some of the swings. Continues to push on, but I thought, oh, good, Miggy's healthy again.
Yeah. Didn't help that it was, what, 35, 36 degrees that day either. Here's the 2-0. 2-1 on Cabrera. Miggy right now tied for the team lead with 10 RBIs.
I mean, that's a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. I think he normally would crush that. Going to be a slider here.
2-2.
And going back to that first day, opening day for the White Sox, Miggy's thinking about going for 2. Hits the backside of the rubber right there. He actually has a hip flexor, and you see that's it would make anybody stumble, wouldn't it? Kind of peeking up. Should I go? Should I not go? And it has not worked out well since then.
Cabrera still continues to march up the lists of big numbers, though. He tied Chipper Jones all time for 31st in RBIs. Now he's chasing down Harold Baines. He's 5 away from Baines for 30th all time in RBIs.
Get him healthy so we can get after him, huh? I did one of those headers in Paris this fall. Chasing down a cab. I'm serious. It wasn't funny. I bit it.
You weren't chasing a double. You were chasing a cab?
Yeah. I was chasing a cab because, well, they weren't plentiful. Little did I see the curb in front of me. Oops.
So it was a curb?
Yeah, it was just like a base there for Miggy.
Face first?
I took a header.
Nice.
And then Miggy on with the walk.
And the Tigers have their second base runner of the game against Hamill. Here are the numbers. Jason 40 now in the pitch count. That'll bring up Castellanos. Playing to pull on the infield against Nicholas. Drives one to right field on a line. All the way to the warning track. Merrifield runs it down.
Now, see, we're talking about you're frustrated you didn't get a hit right there, right? I mean, is that a good at bat to you?
It's great at bat.
Hit it right on the button, right to Whit Merrifield in right field.
And that's exactly what Nick told you this morning. That is one of those at bats that he will take away as a positive.
That's how he's learned to do it. Others have to learn how to do it.
How long did it take you to learn that?
Never. Well, now sitting in the booth, it's easy. Yeah,
but as a
you
player,
should relax.
As a player, a much different story.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Here's Martinez. Strike one on Victor. Breaking ball there from Hamill, who has so far handcuffed the Tigers. They're only hit a single by McCann of a bloop variety back in the second.
I think that Nick's going to break out and get really hot. Keeps that thought in a positive fashion.
Belted foul. 0-2 on Vmart, who is right now enjoying a 5-game hitting streak. He already has 8 hits on this homestand.
He's been getting on base when he doesn't get a hit, scrapping away on.
Gardy was saying the other day that Martinez and Cabrera both seem kind of rejuvenated as the veterans on this team with the way this ball club keeps battling back late in games.
Yeah, there's a good atmosphere in the clubhouse.
They've got a great chance over the weekend here to get at 500 or over 500. And a little bit outside, 1-2.
Scott Berry's got a good zone. If it's off, he's calling it a ball. That's the home plate umpire I'm talking about. If it's on, it's a strike.
Battle Creek's Scott Berry.
Probably motivated by Mike Riley, Cornflakes Riley.
That's right.
He was an umpire for what, 30 years probably.
Now the 1-2. And Vmart loops it in the air toward left field. John Jay is there, and Hamill gives up a walk, no damage. We go to the 5th.
Abraham Amonte's flashing the leather back in the 3rd. Good catch on Leonis Martin. That was a 92% probability of a hit.
Wow.
So that should have been a hit.
106 off the bat. And Monte ran it down. 106 miles an hour was the exit velocity. So a great play by Abraham. He'll be followed by Goins and then Escobar.
Just an example of other ways you can measure how players help their teams. And whether he hits a ball out of the park is really easy to see.
Drag bunt and nice play by Fulmer to stay with it.
Now, I was talking to Gardy today about bunting. They have charts on bunting too. What guys like to bunt, where they're likely to bunt, what count they're likely to bunt in. Michael Fulmer's on it quick. He's ready like a cat on that mound. Well, like a tiger. Pounced on it.
A big cat.
Tiger cat.
Here is Goins. So you will have in your scouting reports what each player is, or when each player is likely to bunt in which counts?
Yeah, they do. Obviously, it's like the hit and run is the same thing. But you have to watch, some services will count a 3-2 count as a hit and run. Is that a hit and run to you?
No.
I think that skews because, well, not so much anymore. They used to pitch out in those counts, okay? But they really don't pitch out as much anymore. They work more on who covers in case of a hit and run. So right now we'll get the shortstop and the second baseman. We'll get a double on him, and it'll show you there when a guy gets on base. Probably Iglesias will give a sign to Machado, who's covering the bag. So when the runner goes, somebody has to vacate their position. So that's kind of where the probability of where the ball's going to be hit, probably where it's going to go, helps them confirm who should be covering. I'm getting ahead of myself, but we'll show. We got a guy on first now.
Just off the plate. And the first walk for Michael Fulmer.
Now Escobar is a guy they will hit and run with. So this is an example of who covers. And I believe that it would be Machado who would cover.
Escobar fouls away the first one, 0-1.
Okay, so here we go. Fulmer goes into a stretch, and both players put their gloves up to their mouth. Then they give the sign. So he's getting the sign right now. Mouth open, one covers, mouth, there he goes.
On a one hop to second, Machado thought about it, goes to first and gets the out there. Even on a hard hit ball, they stay out of the double play by starting Goins.
Now there was a dead hit and run right there, and they motioned. And Machado stayed home. You can see him right up here. He stayed home. He wasn't covering. We back that up a little bit. You can see Iglesias was covering. But that's how they do it. They motion, mouth closed me, mouth open you. They both do it, but one's the decoy.
And that's based on the sign, correct? The pitch.
Yes, correct. Sign, location, and the metrics of where the probability of where Escobar is going to hit that.
Gallagher waves and misses. So the Royals again with the man at second and 2 outs. They failed to knock in a run in the fourth. We'll see what Gallagher can do here, the number 9 hitter. It'll sail low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Gallagher fly ball to right field in his last at bat. Now, Nick, if you're a right fielder, they have him positioned.
Chop to third base. Candelario has it. And that threat is over. No runs. They get a walk and they leave a man. We go to the bottom of the 5th. brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is more exciting than getting a foul ball at the ballpark. And there's proof. Great day for baseball here. Temperature continues to rise. We're in the 50s on a gorgeous afternoon. The Tigers and the Royals playing a doubleheader. It'll be McCann here in the bottom of the 5th inning of game 1, and Hamill spins one up there for ball 1.
James is due. Got a little cheapy, like a little sunball for a single in his last at bat. Looking for the bomb this one. That'd be a bloop and a blast.
They've got a play to pull on the infield, and McCann slices one to center field. Almonte, it's going to drop. McCann wide turn, he's going for 2. It rolled away from Almonte, and James gets in there. It's going to be a double.
So we were talking about one that fell in last at bat. Maybe he didn't run as hard as he could have, because sometimes they drop in, and he does a heck of a job right here. He hits this ball, busts it right out of the box. Amani's trying to make a great grab right here. Ball deflects off his glove, and James is running all the way this time. And that's with a good 3/4 long leg, and now he's on his way. A good turn. Dig it. So, you know, that's kind of how you get reminded sometimes. Good job there.
The Tigers yesterday were 8 for 17 with men in scoring position. This will be their first opportunity today. And there's a ball inside to Jacoby Jones.
Got to find a way to at least get him over. Now, James is not that fleet of foot, so you got to make a good bunt if you're going to bunt it. Duda is in from first base. They're trying to make him hit the ball that way.
Wave and a miss, 1-1.
And he's going to see breaking balls. He saw a bunch of breaking balls last time. Now you get a man in scoring position, for sure you're going to see him. I mean, in my case right now, I would sell out on the curveball. You're going to get one of them for sure in the next couple pitches. You got to recognize, hit the shoulder, it's a strike.
Bouncer up the middle, he beat the shift, it's through, base hit. McCann started back, now they're going to try and score him. Throw comes into second base, throw to the plate is not in time, and a run scores.
Now, this is good base running by James. And it makes it harder to score, but an excellent job. Jacoby, good job too. Stays on this one. You can see they had the shift. He did not want to run into an out at third base. Has to do the reversal. Good slide. See, he thinks this ball's right to him. He'd been a dead duck there at third, so now he's got to restart it. Good turn. I love the slide right here. Late and direct right to the target, which is the plate. Tigers take the lead 1-0.
Back-to-back hits here in the 5th inning. Now the runner moving to third, and no throw by Gallagher. And Jacoby swipes third.
Jacoby catches him off guard, and look at Iglesias put his bat out front to distract the catcher. Good jump right there. He's got a movement, had some information. He knows Hamels is not the kind of guy that holds tight. Takes advantage of it. Infield in now for the Royals.
To the left side of the infield, cut off there. Cuthbert throws him out, runner holds. One away. They'll bring up Machado. Tigers showing some aggressiveness here in the 5th inning. Dixon hit one hard his first time up, but right at the center fielder, Almonte.
Take it. Jacoby Jones on third.
Ball 1. Infield is in for the Royals.
And they're in there tight. This is a hitter's dream come true when they're in that tight. Look at him move with the pitch.
Fly ball in the air to center. Here comes Almonte. Measuring it. Runner tags. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is not in time. Sac fly. RBI for Machado.
The Almonte double pumps. They're not going to get Jacoby Jones. Look at Joe. He goes right back. He's tagging. He just glides. He loves to run. I understand that. Scores easily. Tigers take a 2-0 lead.
What if Merrifield catches that ball in right field? He's more lined up to make a better throw, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I think that ball was misjudged and the call was made from the center fielder Almonte early. And when the center fielder calls you off, you just, you know, he's the captain out there.
So 2 runs in now, and here is Leonis Martin. And he'll drive one in the air toward left field. That ball is hit well. John Jay going back. He'll get there at the warning track. Tigers scored first in this one. They put up a 2 spot.
Jay strikes him out his first at bat very quickly. Then he totally comes inside in the next one. Just look how he keeps working him away, away, away. He struck him out inside the first time. He's using the elevation, and then he pounds him in with the fastball, goes away. Just a good steady diet, in, away, in, away, in, away. Keeps him off balance, and he's 0 for 2. And he's up again for his third at bat here.
John Jay, Whit Merrifield, and Mike Moustakas. Tigers have a 2-0 lead. 2 runs on 3 Detroit hits. Little chopper to the right side. That's going to be a fair ball for Miggy. Another quick out for Fulmer. 1 gone. Here is Whit Merrifield, and he's our Chevrolet most dependable player. Hits in 20 of 22 against the Tigers since the start of last season.
Scrappy player, and he has been tough on the Tigers.
Also playing some outfield now. He's played some left. He's played some make it right and center field. He's playing right field in the game today. And Merrifield, I think the way you described him, a very good way. Scrappy.
Yeah, that's a compliment. And he's 2 for 2 today. He scrapped a couple out. He came into the game hitting only 162 against right-handed pitchers. And Fulmer obviously is right-handed and a good one.
Only 2 hits allowed by the right-hander Fulmer. 1-1 is pop foul back out of play. 1-2 on Whit Merrifield. Your lifetime came in 347 versus Tigers pitching. There's sometimes just those guys that for whatever reason do so well against a certain team.
It happens, and sometimes you're on the good side of that, sometimes you're on the bad side.
Swing and a miss, not that time. Fulmer dispatches him. 2 gone now as we check in with Trevor.
Well, Mike Moustakas is strolling to the plate right now, and all indications are his head is screwed on straight, even though he thought he was going to have a better offseason as far as free agency and raking in some dough is concerned. His former teammate, Eric Hosmer, signed a record 8-year, $144 million deal with the Padres, but Moustakas had no suitors and was forced to return to Kansas City on a 1-year deal, Mario, worth $6.5 million. $2 million in incentives are out there for him, and an option, a mutual option for $15 million more next year. But those aren't the numbers Moustakas was looking for in the offseason. But Ned Yost says this guy has simply come in and done his job, and he is raking to the tune of the 4th best average in the American League so far this season.
Well, he certainly has a 10-game hitting streak, Trev, coming in, and he belts that one a long way into right field, and that's going to go way out of here, right on cue. Mike Moustakas with a long, and I mean long, home run to right.
It's his 5th home run. He was hot. We were talking about it, and he got that one elevated. He knew that was gone right away.
It's an 11-game hitting streak.
Inside part of the plate, elevation, and it's a 2-1 game.
You know, when you're a player, Gibby, and you expect to have a big offseason with a contract, and it doesn't happen, I guess you can go several ways. 1, you could be upset and it can affect you negatively, or 2, maybe you have the attitude like, okay, I'll show you guys. And apparently that's the way Moustakas has gone.
Did Kansas City offer him any contract? Did they give him the?
I don't know. Aside from the one that they finally signed with him, I don't know if they gave him a multi-year deal or offer. And there's a base hit the other way for Duda. So the tying run is on now.
Well, the environment is changing around Major League Baseball about getting contracts, and it appears that they may be headed for a disagreement here in the future. But you know, both sides make a basic players agreement, and they have to live by it. And sometimes you're on the wrong end of it. And it worked against Moose. That's what his nickname is. Michael Fulmer's. It's a good visit by McCann. This will be the Tigers' first visit of the game. Sees Michael getting frustrated. Gave up that home run and gave up a base hit to Lucas Duda. Now he wants to get him back under control for Chesler.
Cuthbert, a fly ball and a ground out. Royals answer the Tigers' 2-run 5th with a home run by Moustakas here in the 6th to make it 2-1. It'll dive low and the count goes 2-0.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch. 97's the high, low of 83. And James McCann went out there, I think, and said, let's get this ball down. I mean, you've got 7 ground balls in this game already. Let's get another one to get out of this inning.
.94 on the outer edge there for Fulmer. 2-1.
73 pitches here in the 6th for Michael. 64% of them strikes.
Fulmer originally was a first-round pick of the Mets. That was in 2011. And then the Tigers, a couple of years later, offered Yoenis Cespedes to the Mets. They got Fulmer in return. And Michael went on to win the Rookie of the Year award 2 seasons ago, easily outdistancing Gary Sanchez of the Yankees. Drive down the left field line, fair ball, going to go to the corner. Jacoby able to corral it nicely, gets to the ball quickly to hold the runner at second. 2 on 2 out, 3 straight hits now for the Royals.
This a breaking ball. That slider was biting. They're on the slider now. And a good play by Jacoby. This ball looks like it might go down in the corner. You see that's just hanging on the inner third again. Doesn't have quite the finish that it did earlier in the game. Jacoby gets over here and gets around this ball. It holds the runners to men in first and second. As that speed comes into play again.
High fly ball toward left field. Jones on the move, going back to the corner to haul it in and retire the side. They get a run back on the Moustakas home run.
The box for a hustle double right here. And then Jacoby Jones and a good base running by McCann. That plates James to get one run. First pitch steal by Jacoby, and then the sac fly by Machado. Jacoby Jones scores easily. Tigers pick up two. Royals have cut it to 2-1 with a Moustakas home run in the top of the sixth.
Jamer Candelario to get it rolling here in the sixth inning versus Hamill. Candy looks at a ball low that bounces in. 1 ball and 1 strike on Candelario.
That's how you know you're locked in. Candy didn't even flinch at that ball, breaking ball down into the plate. Didn't even flinch. Saw it good all the way. You want to have calm lower half when you're a hitter.
Now the 1-1 lifted back out of play, 1-2. Two runs on only 3 hits for the Tigers, a run on 5 hits for the Royals, but KC has stranded 5 in this game. Hamill now with the 1-2 to Jamer. Line drive, base hit, right field. They better get it in quickly too, because Jamer will try for 2. He'll hold him to a single. Leadoff man on here in the 6th. Hey Detroit, it's April in the D, and you need great food for tailgating, so here's your chance to enter to win groceries for a year from Aldi. To enter the Aldi groceries for a year sweepstakes, go to foxsportsdetroit.com for your chance to win. Candy now with a 5-game hit streak. It'll tie his season best. Here is Miguel Cabrera. Miggy bends away from a bender, strike call.
Miggy's due. They're playing him over to right center. This is all open. I just can sniff it. Ball's going to go right over there. Right there.
I'm going to hold you to it.
But if you're scared, You know, what do they say? Oh boy.
Close.
And looking at that. Quick snap throw. He might be out. You want to go back away from the first baseman when it's kind of a crossover step. Here you see they're supposed to get 10 seconds. Yep, they're saying earmuffs.
Yeah, they will look at it. So apparently they saw enough to say we might be able to get this changed.
What happened here is you might saw Candyman peeking into the signs. It looked like Hamill surprised him when he threw it over there. We'll take a look at it. Really, it's going to be really slow-mo. We've been pretty successful. The Tigers have ourselves. Oh, he's out. Looks like he's out to me. If you're the player over there, what are you thinking right now? You're thinking, I'm safe. You're saying, uh-oh.
Well,
I would say you know more than most. Like when it's a bang bang play, even because you know when your foot hits it, you can hear it as good as anybody.
Well, he may know, but I think we've seen many times, Gibby, on these bang bang plays that there's just not enough to overturn it, and that's what Candy is hoping for right now.
Or there isn't enough to overturn it, and they do.
Right.
It's happened a time or two.
We've seen that happen. Candelario right now knows whether or not he's safe or out. It's a matter of the interpretation that he is out.
Yeah.
So the pickoff. Base is empty now, one out.
Let's take another look. See, Candy was getting off the base, and Hamill perfectly threw it. Now, we should have looked at the catcher. Maybe they had. Sometimes the catcher will drop his glove, and that tells you when to throw the ball, because the catcher can see the first base runner taking that extra step off.
Hamill helps himself out.
I was wondering last time through the lineup, 353 average against Hamill, third time through. So the Tigers have been following along with that trend as they're swinging the bats.
1-2 on Miguel. Wow. It jumps. 240, 231, then 353.
So how did you score that, Candelario?
A pickoff. In my book, I put pick, P-I-C 1-3. What do you use? I'm afraid to ask this.
I'm contemplating.
So you have no contingency plan for a pickoff?
I'll create something.
Okay.
Give me Z. I like Z.
Z, why not? Just Z.
Where else do you see a Z in the scorebook?
That's exactly my point. Ground ball to second. Gobbled up there by Goins, and there are 2 outs.
So we got a base hit.
So for ground outs, you put the letter C.
Yeah.
Now for pickoffs, you've decided you're just going to use the letter Z.
Yeah. So you'll know that if you're looking in my book cheating. You see that Z, you can put your PIC 1-3.
But you should not need a legend on your score sheet to be able to figure out what you're writing down.
I don't need a legend.
Remember the maps you used to make like in 3rd grade? You have to have a legend.
I still make those.
Blue means water. Brown means land.
No, you put water, you put waves.
Green means grass. 2 outs now for Nick. He rips one fair down the left field line. There you go, Gibby. Your boy's got himself a double. The 2-out variety. 2 points for Kirk.
Oh, that's right. I picked Nick today. Hanger. Boy, he come out his shoes there. Didn't elevate it though, but it gets a 2-bagger. 2 outs, 2-bagger. That'll leave it up to Victor, your guy. Should have been.
Nope.
You hit him
Machado. Machado's already got me a point. So far that's worked out.
So did you win last night?
Yeah, I think I had 14 last night.
I've got 1 win under my belt. You know how many points I had to win?
2.
1.
1, and you got to win.
Yeah.
Wow, that was
all that matters.
1-0 game.
That's all that matters.
Vemar trying to drive him in now with 2 outs. There's the strike called, 0-1. Hamill now has surrendered 5 hits. Both teams have 5 hits.
So you got Nick out here. The secondary lead is big. You got to really have your timing good. That foot should be just about coming down when it hits the bat.
Febarn with a comebacker to the mound and a fly out to left. He is 0 for 2.
So if you're at the park, you don't have to look at the ball every pitch. So if you're at the park, you just watch little things like that. I'm going to watch Nicholas, because with this, all this technique up here may determine whether you score.
Just a tad outside, 2-1.
It's like a dance out there. Got to have a little rhythm.
But it's those little nuances that can mean the difference between scoring and not.
Well, I mean, you might be an inch closer to the plate. You may be an inch further away from the plate, just based upon that technique. Now I'm a little nuttier about these little things on the bases than most.
I think you're more of a connoisseur than nutty about it.
I am. I like it. I was taught by one of the best, so you developed that over the years. Like, my arm was not my strength, so I just covered that up the best I could, but my legs were my strength, so you explore and exploit with that asset as much as you can. Nick's a pretty good base runner. He's got decent speed. Want to make sure you score on a hot single to the outfield.
In the air to center. Almonte racing back. That'll end the inning. No runs, couple of hits, 1 man left.
Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. The Red Hot Red Sox just keeping on out west, beating the Angels last night 8-2. Mookie Betts led off the game with his 6th home run of the season. The Sox now 16-2. It's their best start through 18 games. Actually, it's the best start of any team through 18 games since 1987, Rod. And they're starting to get into 1984 Tiger territory if they keep this up.
Well, Mookie Betts right now has one of the quickest bats of any right-handed in our sport. You talk about Mookie, and Gary Sheffield's name comes to mind. His contact to rate damage is simply unbelievable right now, driving the ball with a lot of authority. He's been getting off.
Yeah, we talked about the Red Sox on the pregame show today. Are they one of those teams that's for real? We're convinced already, guys, that the Red Sox are for real.
Well, they are indeed. They've won 7 consecutive ball games now, and they are really taking over the American League East. Toronto 12-6, trying to hang with them, but everybody else kind of looking up.
Yeah, right here at Comerica Park, if you're Ron Gardenhire, you're asking yourself, what am I going to do if the first guy gets on? I'm asking you, Mario. And then if he gets on, what are we going to do if the second guy gets on? Obviously, you got a 2-1 lead right now. Green's got the 9th. Joe Jimenez has got probably the 8th. So we've got a bridge situation here. How do we get to the 8th? He might go, what, 1 1/3, 1 2/3 to Joe? So we still got a third of an inning bridge. So, you know, he's looking at that lineup card. Here's your pitchers over here on the right side. My telly's not working right, but we know what's going to go down there. Green and Jimenez, in my opinion, and maybe it's Wilson, is the gap guy.
Well, there you go. There's a base hit to center field, so the wheels are turning. Leadoff single for Goins.
So you got the lead. You're going to try and protect it. And trust me, Gardy's already thought about this. Michael Fulmer's at 82 pitches. Here you've got that situation where Escobar will hit and run. He's an action guy. He's a hacker. You want to try and go for that double play. So first guy gets on, nothing's going to happen. What happens if the next guy gets on?
Escobar showing bunt, drops one down, and Fulmer going to second, gets the out there. Nicely done. Michael got on that ball very quickly. Well, he's had the Bernstein advantage against Mr. Escobar. 2 for 22 in his career against Fulmer.
Reason maybe it was bunt. He will steal as well.
In the scenario that you presented, does it matter at all if, say, Fulmer were to walk the first 2 guys as opposed to maybe giving up a couple of blue hits? Does that come into play?
Yes, it does.
Because he's only at, what, 83 pitches now. So, I mean, he still has some gas in the tank, you would think.
Or if he's hanging the slider, he's not getting his pitches where he wants them. I think that that's a consideration as well. You don't want to see the hangers.
Gallagher fouls it off 0-2.
Yeah, Michael's got to make sure that he gets that breaking pitch down into the ground. See the signs right there. Is he going to go? Escobar, you get down, you got 0-2 count with 1 out. Now he does steal on an 0-2 count. I looked at the sheet today, but probably not going to happen here.
It'll get away. Doesn't have to steal. All the way to the backstop, and the wild pitch will advance the runner to scoring position.
Well, this is tough. He yanks the slider, and again, that he's getting a little fatigued right now. So he can't get over in front of it. It's just one of those things, and unfortunately, see James is up, and he tries to get over in front of it. Ball pops way up. Nothing you can do.
Line drive over the head of the shortstop Iglesias. They're not going to be able to score the run. Runner had to hold. Escobar had to make sure it got through. So Gallagher, the number 9 hitter, gets behind in the count and singles.
Might have a visit here. Take a look right here. We're just over Iglesias. He can't get it. Jacoby comes in really quickly. Escobar had to hold up to make sure this was not caught and get doubled off. And on to third he goes. Still no action in the Tigers' pen.
Here is John Jay. First and third now with one out in a 2-1 ball game. Jay fouls it back.
But Jay, he puts the ball in play. So Gardy at home willing to possibly give up the tying run in double play depth now, looking for the inning-ending double play. Michael's got to make the pitch to get it.
Oh, 2.
This tells you what Gardy's doing right here. He's done it in many ways. Nobody's thrown in that bullpen. I promise you, Michael Fulmer has looked out there several times this inning to see if he's got anybody up. This means a lot to his players right here to see that he's got the trust. Because he would be disappointed if he didn't give him a chance to get out of this. He believes he can do it.
Daniel Stump warming up. So 90 now for Fulmer, whose season high is 92.
Stump is for Moustakas. 2 away.
Ground ball right side, going to get through. Base hit. That'll tie the ball game up as the Royals come up with their third hit in the inning. It's a 2-2 game.
Well, you're looking for the ground ball double play. He executed it very well. Seeing eye, nothing you can do about it. We were talking about Nick Castellanos and the way he processes this. The ball's down, it's sinking. He gets the ground ball. And it's just someplace where somebody isn't, and they tie it up. Michael's disappointed, but you got it. This is a very positive performance by him today.
Here is Whit Merrifield, who is 2 out of 3 in this game. The Royals now have 8 hits against Fulmer. And Merrifield backs away from a strike, 0-1. Hamill's done a great job today matching Fulmer.
This may be Michael's last hitter. The 2 lefties coming up, Moustakas and Duda, behind Merrifield.
0-2. So again, Fulmer gets ahead. 2 strikes on Merrifield. Home run by Moustakas in the 6th. RBI single by Jay here in the 7th to tie it up. Up and in, back him out of there.
The other thing is you got the double header, so another reason that Gardy started Fulmer is leaving him in. He wants him to go deep.
The 1-2. Tigers called up Mike Gerber as their 26th man for the doubleheader. Warwick Soppold was called up and Chad Bell was sent down after the ball game last night.
I think Michael might be in the second game, I would think. Gives the Tigers another left-handed option. They haven't had a lot of lefties recently on their bench. A lot of righties in the league nowadays.
Ground ball toward third. Gobbled up there nicely. There's one. Relay is in time. A double play. Candelario.
Excellent.
Nicely done to end the inning. It goes 5-3 and a ball hit right at the bag, and Fulmer says thank you. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. What's going on in Pick the Stick? Here is our Ram Pick the Stick updates. Not a whole lot of offense today, so probably some low scores. Who do we got here? You've got, ooh, Gibby's got that
Big two.
Yeah.
See, I win the close ones. These blowouts, anybody can win those.
There's a long way to go in this one.
Oh, there is.
Anybody can win the blowouts. Hamill back to the hill. It's a 2-2 game now. Brand new contest. It'll be McCann to get things started here against Hamill. They're playing to pull on James. And he pops it up. First base side for Lucas Duda. One gone. By the way, join the Tigers in the fight against breast cancer. The 7th annual Pink Out the Park is Mother's Day, Sunday, May 13th. Tigers taking on the M's, the Mariners at 1:10. First 10,000 fans receive a free Pink Out the Park hat courtesy of Kroger. For tickets, go to tigers.com. It's already pinking out the park. One away now, and there's a strike called on Jacoby Jones. Jason Hamill kind of bobbing and weaving through the Tigers lineup here this afternoon. He has surrendered only 5 hits. Now the 0-1. Well,
Gardy's still looking at the lineup card. They got 2 lefties coming up, so he's got 1 lefty on the card, and that'll be crossed off, I predict, coming into this inning. These cards get more interesting as the game goes on.
On the ground, left side of the infield, it's going to be the second baseman Goins to throw him out.
And there you see Mr. Stump there.
Big Joe Jimenez.
Joe Jimenez. So Stump will go through the 2 lefties, and Joe will go behind him. You got Moustakas, then Duda, and they got Chesler, Cuthbert behind them. Now, Kansas City has no left-hand hitters. They do have a switch hitter, though, don't they? I guess we got to look at.
They've got
Ned Yost's card.
No, Butera, Orlando, and Soler.
All righties.
Yes.
So they'll get the righty Jimenez on the righty Butera, Orlando, or Soler if they decide to pinch hit for Chesler, but they're not going to do that. They'll leave him in the game.
0-2 on Iglesias.
Hamill has really had a nice game for the Royals. Really been in control the whole game. Tigers scrapped 2 out in the 5th. And that's it. It's been smooth sailing.
2 doubles in that inning for the Tigers. Iggy looks at a ball that bounces in. 1-2.
Good time for Iggy to get on. 2 outs, steal the bag. Let Machado hit him in. Then it's easy from there. Easy choice who you're bringing in.
Off the end of the bat, it'll roll foul. See, now that qualifies as a number right there. That is a number.
I call that the little number. Did you see the video with and then there was the little number? Did you see that video?
I did not. What am I missing?
No, it's just a bat some time ago that they made a little tape on, and they said, and then there was the little number. It went foul, but if it had not went foul, something wouldn't have happened. You got follow me?
I'm thoroughly confused. But then again, that's
so there's a little
occurrence.
number that goes down to the first baseline.
Okay.
It goes foul.
Okay.
But they almost defended it before it went foul. And then right after that, there was a home run that was hit, and it changed the whole game.
Oh, okay.
So that's a real little number.
There's The swing and a miss, and Iglesias is out. Inning is over. 7 in the books. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
Top of the 6th, Mike Moustakas had been 0 for 2 in the game. He gets a hold of one. This is no little number. 105.5 miles per hour is the exit velocity, 27-degree launch angle. That transforms into 407 feet. Let's look at the starter comparison. Jason Hamill and Michael Fulmer, both 7 innings, both giving up 2 runs. Not a lot of strikeouts, 4 apiece, and no walks. So it's been a crisp game and a pretty good duel. But we got a new pitcher coming into the game. For the Tigers, Michael is done. It's a wall side windows pitching change. Daniel Stump. He's going to get the lefties. 8 games so far. 4 2/3 innings. So he's somewhat of a specialist. Opponents are hitting .278, and he's facing one of the hottest hitters in the league in Mike Moustakas.
1 for 3 this afternoon on the aforementioned home run by Moustakas.
Moustakas hitting .300 off left-handers coming into the game tonight.
Shifting to the right side against the lefty, and he pulls one right at Cabrera. A bullet right at Miggy. 1 gone.
Tell you, if you don't get the ball down to Moustakas, he really puts the barrel on it. This ball was right at Miggy, got there very quick. Had a little bit of hook on it, but Miggy got his glove on it and put it away. That's what it's like. This will be in slow motion, so it looks easy. If you do that full speed, and you'll see that happen quickly.
So Duda now, who bats only 136 against left-handed pitching. Single ground out flyout for Lucas. 2-2 game. We're in the 8th. Game 1 of a doubleheader today. There's a ball and miss low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Duda.
Duda Day. You were just setting that up.
Yeah, I was just waiting. I mean, I'm waiting for the
perfect
opportunity.
Day. He's got big power. You got to watch get the pitches where he's not going to have a chance to hit it out. Want to use the center of the field, Comerica Park. From the gap to gap, pretty deep. Less doable out that way. Get Duda, I believe that Ron Gardenhire will come out and make a pitching change. What kind of change?
Wall side windows change.
There you go.
That's a bonus spot there. That's missing high and outside. 3-2 now on Duda.
Day.
Meanwhile, Jimenez still warming up.
They used to call me Kirk the Jerk, so it's just a joke. Just a joke. Got him.
Duda down on strikes. 2 away.
3-2 count. He's got to make the pitch. And he does.
Here is Cuthbert. Chesler batting with 2 outs. That'll dive in, but low.
Now you look ahead. Why isn't he going to bring Joe in for Cuthbert? Well, Amonte's behind him. He's 0 for 7 versus lefties this year, so it might have something to do with it. Had Duda got on, I'm sure he would have replaced him. But nobody on, he's going to go and extend him another. And Cuthbert, 375 off lefties. Which, if you're saying anything over 300, certainly is something you want to stay away from, especially if there's any power numbers behind that average number.
Now the 2-1. Well, and I think you also need guys to be able to get out lefties and righties, regardless of which way you throw on the mound. And you've got a doubleheader here today. They did call up Soppold as a fresh arm with Bell being sent down. That'll get foul. 3-2. By the way, join us for the second game of this Tigers-Royals doubleheader. We begin with Tigers Live at 6:30 right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Game 2 coming up later tonight.
So we got a good game going on right now. Got an intuition that says the Tigers are going to win it. We'll go for a sweep today.
Here's a ground ball, base hit left field. Cuthbert a 2-out single, his second hit. That'll keep the inning going now for Amonte. Royals now with 9 hits in this contest.
Now you get into what does Gardy do here, and we kind of predicted this would be the case. And the other factor is if he brings Joe in, he wants to get him through the next inning. So if you bring him in now you've got him, and he's got to go sit down and get back up. So it's a 1+. Takes a lot more out of your pitcher for game 2 tonight, probably, and could possibly make him not available for tonight and or tomorrow. Just some of the things that go through a manager's head in game.
Go-ahead run is on here with 2 outs in the 8th. Almonte is 0 for 3. Fouled away now. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Almonte. Tigers raced out to a 2-0 lead. Got a pair in the 5th. And the Royals have answered with 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. Michael Fulmer, another solid 7 innings of work, allowing 2 earned runs. Almost hit him. 2-2.
And one of the things about Daniel, it seems like when he gets ahead, he misses on a lot of this count pitch right there. Some purpose behind it. Maybe you'd like to see a few more. You don't want to go to 3-2. Get him right here.
Ground ball left side, base hit. Out of the reach of Iglesias. That'll send Cuthbert to second base. And now 2 on with 2 outs.
Ball's up in the zone right here. Kind of right over the middle. Serves it right in the 5-6 hole. You can see Iglesias playing up the middle.
Here comes Chris Bosio. He will make a mound visit. It's going to be Ryan Goins checking in now with 2 on and 2 out. By the way, here are the probables tonight, courtesy of Walzine Windows for game 2. It's going to be Jacob Junis, who is off to a really nice start against Daniel Norris.
Yeah, Junis came up last year for the Royals, had a good year. He had a no-no going through 7 this year. He threw
did.
a 1-hitter. Look at those numbers, 1.93 ERA, 16 strikeouts. Of course, Daniel Norris, he wants to make a statement. He wants to be in this rotation. tonight and forever.
So here's Ryan Goins now with the go-ahead run at second base. Cuthbert and Almonte both singling against Stump here with 2 outs.
Well, if you're an outfielder right here, you might make a decision to cheat in a little bit. You've got Chesler Cuthbert, runs decent at second. Looks like James McCann needs a new glove. But if you cheat in a little bit, you got a greater chance to cut down the run at home. However, if you cheat in and it gets by you, you're going to give them another insurance run, so they will score 2 instead of 1. Just a feel on what you want to do. For the outfielders, we caught Mikey Matuk looking at a card, remember, in Cleveland?
We did, yeah. Little cheat sheet.
Yeah, I inquired about that. And they have, you know, what you should do. So right now we have Goins up. And he is got a little spot on that card, front and back, and it would say, the one you'd look at now, the log is runners in scoring position versus left-handed pitcher, and then it would say, if you look at Nick out there, it looks to me like he's straight up. And if you look, we go from the high home here, we could see out there, this would be straight away, so this would be probably 2S7, 2 steps towards left field. Does that make sense?
It does.
So that's what the code is on those cards, and that comes from the analytics.
Did he go? No. So says Kerwin Danley. Crowd says boo.
Now, if I was Jacoby, I'd be awake for, he looks like he's really trying to wait on it, and the ball might come to him shallow. I don't think he's got a lot of power that way. You can see Clarkey there in the dugout directing the outfielders where to play.
Now 3-1. All of a sudden the pitch count getting up there now. 23 by Stump after retiring the first 2 batters. Singles for Cuthbert and Almonte.
Now he's up in the count, so you might think that to the pull side it would be a little deeper, but still the other way, shallower.
Line drive caught right at the second baseman Machado. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Hits in the first 4 innings. Things then heated up a bit. Back-to-back doubles, and that highlighted a couple of runs for the Tigers. Moustakas has homered for them. And Mario back with Gibby here at the ballpark. And really, Michael Fulmer today, when you look at his outing, really good to see him kind of bounce back from last week in Cleveland.
Yeah, he definitely corrected. He's making quality pitches. Kansas City scrapped back and tied it. We're into a tough pitcher's duel now. It's getting down to the bullpens. Except Jason Hamill is still in the game for Kansas City Tigers. Would they score 13 runs yesterday?
They did.
It's quite a different scene down here today, but Tigers got their bullpen ready to go, and we're going to try and scrap it, find a way right here in the bottom of the 8th. Shane Green will come in and close it down. That's what we're hoping for.
Meanwhile, the Tigers, as you mentioned, offensively, they just could not get anything going early on in this game, and Hamill has done a really, really good job. And see if the Tigers now can come back here against Hamill in the 8th inning. He is still out there for the Royals. And Machado now ahead in the count.
Nobody up in bullpen for Kansas City still. So Ned Yost leading on his veteran right-hander as well.
Ground ball left side. It's going to be Escobar to gobble it up, and he got him by a step.
2-1 count. You get a little anxious in games like this. You maybe overswing a little bit. A little rollover here by Machado.
He's going to bring up Martin.
It's a good time to score right here, huh?
Always a good time to score in the bottom of the 8th, especially in a tie ball game here. Not really a whole lot going on in the Tiger box. McCann, a couple of hits. Only 5 Tigers hits. That one is rolled to second base. Easy play there for Goins. 2 up, 2 down.
A lot of early pitch outs.
Hey, Detroit Tigers baseball is always live with MLB at Bat. The app will keep you connected every day with live radio calls, video highlights, stats, breaking news, and more. MLB at Bat. Get it now. It's your #1 Tigers app. Two up, 2 down. Here is Jamer Candelario.
Stay hot.
I got a feeling right here with Jamer. You look at a strike 0-1.
Is that a call?
It's a call. Calling it right
One of
here.
the things, if you get into, and if it doesn't work out, what's the price that you pay?
Well, you just don't mention it and you move on. Here's the 0-1. Shane Green warming up in the Tigers bullpen. Candy singled, but it was picked off in the 6th. He is 1 for 3 today after having that huge game yesterday. He's now hit safely in 5 in a row. Ooh, look out, up and in, 2-1.
Hamill right over the top. Trying to keep Jamer. Keep him honest. 2-1 count. It's probably going to be something, not a fastball. If it's a fastball, it'll be away and nothing they can hit.
In the air, center field not deep. So much for that feeling. It's a 1-2-3 8th inning. Let's go to the 9th.
Sam, update just when we thought the Tigers offense was getting cranked up, but they've been pretty quiet today, Rob.
Well, give Jason Hamill a lot of credit for that. In the first outing of the year for him against the Tigers, he threw a lot of fastballs top of the strike zone. This outing, lots of really good sliders, kept the Tigers hitters off balance, but there's still a lot of baseball to be played here. Tigers really have a good chance of coming back and winning this one.
Well, they know we got another game to play tonight, right?
Yes, they do know that.
All right, got to take care of business here today. Michael Fulmer's solid in 7 strong innings this afternoon. We'll hear what he thought of his performance coming up after the game on Tigers Live. Mario, Gibby.
All right, guys. Shane Green in the wall side windows pitching change.
Well, you got to put your best out there when you get to the 9th inning, and that's the closer, Shane Green. His 8th game, he has 3 saves. I think he's, what, 3 for 4? Trying to get the win here.
And he'll fire in a strike to Escobar.
You know, let's look at, they had Joe Warm, right? You bring your 8th inning guy in now, or do you bring your closer in? And I think we got the answer.
Now, what would go into making that decision?
Well, you would never want to lose a game. You always bring in your closer in a tie game when you get to the 9th. You never want to lose a game without your best pitcher in the situation with the most experience, which would be Greeny. However, you might reconsider because Jimenez was warm. Now he's sit down, so how many innings will Green go? If he goes more than 1, you've lost him for tonight. If you get Joe up, put him in the game in the next inning, maybe you lose him tonight. So I think Shane's got a pretty rubber arm.
Hit well to left field. Jacoby going back to the track, to the wall, leaping to make the catch. Jacoby Jones tracked it all the way and made a catch against the wall.
He goes and gets him pretty good. He gets back to, he's got those long loping strides. I thought this ball had a chance to get out of the park. Kind of a hanger right there, and he knows exactly where he is. That fence, watch it move. That's not a cement wall or metal fence or brick. That's a great fence to go at it. Get what you can get.
Gallagher looks at ball 1. Single in 3 at bats. Shane Green, a scoreless inning on Tuesday, recording his 3rd save of the year. Breaks off a breaking ball for a strike, 1-1. Greeny last year was used a lot, 71 games. That was a career high.
Well, the top 10 relievers last year, they're 70 plus. 70's a lot. But Brian Shaw, he led the league, was it 79 appearances or something like that?
Yep.
And these guys, in general, you'd think about an inning per game, but with Greeny, Brian Shaw, those guys, they go. Jansen from Dodgers, see ya.
Got him looking. 2 gone. Gallagher's out of there.
He gives up on it. He thinks it's a fastball inside. That's what we call the bow locker. Look at his butt. He just kind of whoops.
Here is John Jay. When Shane was acquired from the Yankees, he was a starter, and I think the Tigers looked at him as a starter. And then Green developed blister problems. There's action. It's Kelvin Herrera.
He's firm.
Yeah, close to triple digits. The 0-1. 0-2 now on Jay. Tigers have been out hit 10-5, but we are tied at 2. Should Jay get on, Merrifield waiting on deck.
Yeah, you want to cut this inning off, get on out of here. 1-2 count. 2 outs.
Chopper back up the middle. Dixon has it at second. It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Shane Green. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Teeth of the order coming up. How about Cabrera, Castellanos, and Martinez? Time to win a ball game. Here come the Tigers now as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, and Jason Hamill's still out there. 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. He has fanned 4.
89 pitches.
Gonna have to earn it now as we go to the 9th. It's Cabrera, Castellanos, and Martinez.
Let's walk them off.
That'd be nice. Already done that once on this homestand.
Pretty much to Miggy today. Fastballs away, sliders away. Who knows better than Miggy how to sit on a pitch or end a game?
Hamill's 1-0.
Hamill's a lot of breaking pitches. Pretty good ones too. His more of a 12-6 break as opposed to like a 1-7.
7 career walk-off home runs for Miguel. Missed it inside. He checked the swing.
Now he's going to go back to that get me over breaking pitch. In my mind, I'm just, acting like I'm taking my at bat right here. If he comes inside on me, more power to you.
High and away, 3-1.
Shadows are good for the catcher. You can see the catcher's shadow right down here. I talk about it from time to time. Maybe you can peek out of the right eye.
Full count now on Cabrera.
So we'll look at it from behind. You're standing here, you can look at the shadow right here. So when that moves, if he's going to come inside on you, you should be able to see it peripherally. Say the word for me, would you?
Peripherally.
Yeah. And the umpire's got a big one too. See, he knows he's coming in.
Pulled it foul. Count stays 3-2.
Not ideal. I mean, you want the shadow when it's out in front of the plate, then it's real easy to see.
Hamill now has equaled his season high with 95 pitches. Rolled foul.
Mickey's really hanging in there tough.
Cabrera this afternoon 0 for 2 with a walk. Tigers have not scored since the 5th, and they got 2 runs in to go up 2-0. Royals got a 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th.
Catcher Gallagher's doing a good job of moving late. Cheated.
Walked in, ball 4. Winning run is on.
Now do you put Michael Gerber into run?
Great question.
Oh, we're not going to get him. We're going to get Nico. Is that Nico?
So Cabrera coming out of the game. Nico Kudrum comes on a pinch run.
Got to do it. Get your wheels on there. Still, was there no action still in the Kansas City bullpen?
Well, they had Herrera up last half inning.
Well, he's got to be loose then.
Now the question for Ned Yost is how long do you stick with Hamill here, who is now at 97 pitches. You got Nick, then you got Vmart.
So again, you got 2 managers thinking about game 2. They're going to stick with Hamill.
High fly ball, shallow left field. John Jay coming on, and he'll make the catch.
Anyway, you got him sticking with Hamill. Tigers, they're going through the best they got in that bullpen. So when the game's all said and done, you look what you've used. If you don't win that game, that's a crusher.
Tigers went with Shane Green to get the 3 outs in the top of the 9th to get him to this bottom. And now you got Victor Martinez up there with 1 on, 1 out.
Kansas City not able to play their customary shift on Victor now because Nico's on first. There you can see the infielders. Normally you'd have Escobar over in this area.
Well, we've talked about how opposing teams have been able to run on Hamill.
But he's doing a much better job of trying to hold the runner. Now he likes to pick on the way up. You got to be ready, like right there. That's how he picked off Candyman.
Ball 1.
It's like a 1.20. Always looking for about a 1.30. That's the time that the pitcher, after he becomes set, starts towards home plate and the ball hits the catcher's glove.
So a 1-3 is a cutoff for a good time to run on.
Remember, that's where he
it'll bounce in 2-0 on Vmart now.
Now Hamill, remember when he picked Candy off? He did it right when he was on his way up. But after he becomes set, we have not seen a quick move. So if I'm a runner, I'm really on my toes when he comes up. Right, you'll see he's going to look over at first base. This is the time, right when he starts up, that you're vulnerable. You got to really make sure you're on your toes. Right here, as soon as his hand goes to his glove, right there, that's the quick move. Once he becomes set, and I haven't reviewed 50, these to see what if he has the best move if I'm set, but I have not seen it today. I would be willing to gamble once he becomes set to go for it. Need a bigger lead.
Ground ball to first. Duda goes to second. 1 relay is picked out. Double play. That'll end the inning. We go to the 10th.
A inning in the third, 3 Ks. He had 23 pitches, lots of nice late life, and he got pumped there. Did a heck of a job, and he's coming into the game for the Tigers right now. And we got a wall side windows pitching change. Joe Jimenez coming in. You know, he's got he's up there. He's got 8 games. He was in 5 of the first 6 for the Tigers, so they're going to have to watch him. Has not been scored upon. To keep it that way. 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. Numbers say he's really locked in, and let's keep it that way. Hold him until the Tigers can get a run in the bottom of one of these innings.
Nico Goodrum stays in the game. He'll play first. And so Joe Jimenez goes to work now here in the 10th inning. Whit Merrifield will lead things off. Jason Hamill. 9 strong innings for the Royals here today in game 1.
2 hits, 2 runs. 5 hits, 2 runs. Sorry.
The last time Jason Hamill went 9 innings in a game was 2012. And it's the only other time he's gone 9 in a game. Here's the 1-0. Merrifield takes high. 2 balls and no strikes.
Now Joe, remember last inning he was up and ready to go 2 innings ago. He had to sit down for an inning while Greeny came in for his inning. So it may take him a while to get acclimated out there.
Good rip by Merrifield, 2-1.
You know, thinking of the Tigers, they scored 13 yesterday. But they've also, is it 5 games they've scored 2 or less. So today is a struggle. Yet these are the games you got to find a way to win.
Merrifield, couple of singles in this game. 2 of the 10 the Royals have. 10 hits, that is. And there's another hit. Into shallow center field, a leadoff single here in the 10th.
Yeah, they're going to try and steal here somewhere, I got to believe. Hopefully McCannon's got the cannon loose.
Meanwhile, there is action. Herrera and Keller warming up. Here is Moustakas, who scalded the ball this last time up right at the first baseman Cabrera. Homer to the 6th. Ball 1. Jimenez last year in his big league opportunity with the Tigers had an ERA north of 12. And this year he has definitely turned things around. Confidence has been a big part of that because he feels the staff this year from the get-go instilled that confidence in him. And when you're pitching late in games, you know you've gained the trust.
Yeah, they sent him down and he was handled properly, so he didn't pout about it. Got it back together. He's got much more movement on his pitches than he did last year. Guys think about it and they make decisions for the good of the organization and the individual.
2-0.
Infield's dried out quite a bit. It's been in the sun all of today. You're an infielder, you got to have your head on a swivel and be on your toes on any ground ball, because there's a lot of footprints. When it gets dry, it doesn't feel that good.
Wave and a miss. 2-1 now on Moustakas.
So when the infield's moist, you're an infielder, you'll see a little divot. So you'll take that, like to say right in here, and you'll just tap it down. Well, when it's moist, that's good. But when it's dry like it is now, when the ball hits there again, it's like it's never been fixed. That powder comes right out of there. So you'll see guys around the infield at the Iglesias. Everybody's grooming the infield now. This isn't the time you want a bad hop.
Or a bad jump. Merrifield, 34 steals last season, led the American League.
If you're an outfielder, you got nobody out. Want to make sure you make a good solid throw, no extra advancement by any runner on any ball hit. So if Merrifield's going to go on to third, you may just have to get it in there, bring the infield in, try and get through the first hitter, and then maybe get out of it with a double play. They're going to earn it, give it to them, nothing more.
That time Goodrum fell down after hauling that one, and it may have gotten Merrifield as well.
Yeah, I think got him right on the quad, or it'd be on the lower leg.
Oh,
The buttocks.
backside.
Nico didn't even get a glove on.
No.
Oh,
Got lucky there.
there's a rib punch there.
2-2 on Mike Moustakas. Swing and a miss. Down he goes.
He's happy about that. Good pitch by Joe right there. Good movement on this. Good action. In, and you look at that thing swing back right on the inside corner. That's one away.
Now another left-handed batter, Lucas Duda. He also possesses power. He has 3 homers this year. Duda hit 30 of them last year. Strike one.
94 miles an hour.
Jimenez's career in the minor leagues, an ERA of about 1.5. That's it, minuscule. That'll sail outside. Here's the 1-1. Popped up, sailing foul.
Well, let's take a look at the lineup card. We've used Greeny, right? So we cross him off. Stump's gone. Jimenez is gone. So he's thinking about how he can score runs. He's also thinking how, I'm talking about Gardy, he's thinking about, oh, we got Goodrum, he's gone. Get him gone too. I'll take this off there for now. Who did I miss? And Miggy, he's gone, so we would have that in there with the little right in.
The 1-2. Swing and a foul tip.
So you're the manager right now. You're thinking we got to get out of this inning. What happens if the next guy gets on? He's looking at his card. You pretty much got it memorized, certainly by now. You're looking who's available off the bench for the Royals, and you're thinking ahead. What if someone? Let's see. Over in the Tigers, they've got.
That's into left field and playable for Jones. Jacoby hauls it in, 2 gone.
James McCann's leading it off, so if he gets on, you're thinking about pinch running here. So maybe that's Gerber again. You got to burn him. So he's got a lot going on inside his dome right now. It's good stuff.
But it's much easier sitting on the couch or up here.
Well, I still like to do it. Maybe there's a viewer or two that's interested in it.
Oh, no doubt. And then, of course, in the back of your mind is this is not a normal day. You've got another game to play later tonight.
He's going to have to go. He's going to go here.
I was thinking the same thing. Foul back out of play.
Is that the next box next to us? I had a good beat on that.
I didn't even see you move.
For good reason.
You maybe mentally you had a good beat on that.
Oh, I had a great beat on it. It's totally protected, too. Hands are good as gold. Why he's thinking about going up there if he could.
It'll miss up and in.
Joe has gotten better at holding the runner. James McCann's pretty lethal back there. So the Royals do not want to run into an out.
That'll miss up and in again. 2-1 now on Chesler Cuthbert. He's been on base in each of his last 2 at-bats, 2 singles. Royals a struggling bunch. They've lost 8 straight. They were scored badly in the series in Toronto. They're scrapping today against the Tigers. 2-2.
Joe's got 18 pitches. I got to believe they can hope to get him out of here. And if they have any thought of bringing him back tonight in tonight's game.
There's a line drive to right field. That's going to get down, a base hit. Castellanos hustles it back in. And now there are first and second with 2 outs. It looked like he wanted to run. Merrifield just didn't get a good jump.
Yeah, he did want to run. That would have been first and third with 2 out. Now they're first and second with 2 out, which gives the Tigers a little bit of protection on a wild pitch or a pass ball or an error.
So that's going to bring up Almonte here with 2 on and 2 outs. Almonte had a single in his last at-bat. Tigers used another mound visit there with McCann going out.
Got runners there at see Cuthbert at first base and Merrifield at second.
And Almonte looks at a strike.
Almonte's been going out to left field. It's flown out to left field. Has also hit a ground ball to second baseman.
The 0-1. On the outer edge, 0-2. Big Joe ahead in the count now on Almonte.
Put him away. Now he's got to be thinking this way. Now Tigers are playing step to right. Well, they have a big old gap here. So I don't know how they're going to pitch him. They do. They will defend based upon the data there.
Stayed away and it rolls outside, 1-2. 95 that time from Jimenez.
You can see right here Leonis Martin really moving around out there. You can see he's ready. He's got the great arm and he's ready to get it and throw it.
That's going to get through and the runners advance. So the little things in the game, had Merrifield been on the run, he probably ends up at third and scores on that wild pitch.
Yeah, he just yanked this. You can see it's a slider. I don't know how he missed him. James had no chance here. Last thing he's thinking of. We're going to get this out.
2-2 on Almonte.
Nobody up in the pen, so it's up to Joe.
Joe at 23 pitches now in this inning. Fouled away.
The Royals have really done a good job of starting to foul some pitches off here in this series.
Agreed.
Swinging and missing early in the game, but have fouled a lot of pitches. This is a 2-strike at bat. 2-2. 2 outs. Weren't you taught to turn your hat inside out on that?
Popped him up. Left side of the infield is going to be Iglesias to the grass, and that'll end the inning.
Let's have some energy. Let's get a run. What do you say?
Let's do it. 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 10th. James McCann will get it started for the Tigers.
Today he's had 9 innings pitched for the Kansas City Royals, and he's had it all working. 53% fastballs, 39% sliders, lots of chases on the breaking pitches, and he just kept the Tigers off balance the whole game, and it went deep, uncharacteristic. So we're still here in the, what is it, we're in the bottom of the 10th. A 2-2 tie, 9 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. First Royal, you see the note down there, no complete games with 9 innings, and we got a wall side windows pitching change. Brad Keller, big fella, 92 to 97, pretty straight slider, small 3/4 break. He's been taking it on the chin so far, relies heavily on the fastball when he falls behind.
It is McCann leading things off here in the bottom of the 10th, 2-2 game, and James nubs one right back to the mound. Keller throws him out, 1 gone.
Joe Jimenez is really excited to be here, and he's all business. He gets that last out, he's fired up.
Joe had to work deep in that inning, 20+ pitches in that inning, and he finally got out of it.
And we'll have to put him on the card in yellow for sure tonight. Maybe red, meaning he'd be down. Greeny will be okay.
Strike called on Jones. Royals tied it up in the 7th. It has been 2-2 since. And Jacoby waves and misses, 0-2.
It's too late now. He's got 2 strikes on him, but look how the Jacoby can get a little push bunt out here. I think he could beat the pitcher to the mound. But you got 2 strikes. You know you're going to see some breakers. You've been filling them up with them today. Find a way on.
Chopped third foul.
You can look at that right side of the infield wide open. If you had enough confidence, you could just push bunt it right over. Look at here, we got 1, 2, 3. This is all open. Whoops. Ah. My fingers are getting cold, I guess. Not registering on the telly.
Here's the 2-2. Driven to left field. Ball is hit well to the track, to the wall, and gone! Jacoby Jones with a